my top. Tampa Bay, let's roll. It's game day. Rays on the diamond, bolts in the sky, Bucks on the goal line, Bulls try to die. From the tailgate talk to the bright field glow, you know where to go. It's the JP Peterson Show.
Yes, it is on this post All-Star Game hump day. Away we go. Thank you guys so much for joining us here today as we are back in our lovely Kingmakers studio here, where last night we hosted a wildly successful All-Star watch party with many of you Petermans showing up. Super fun night, and lots of great food. The Riveters Wings, did a little burgers and dogs. Timmy, we're so sad you weren't here, but I know you were here in spirit.
I was drunk as hell last night too.
Yeah,
I was waiting on you to text me so we can go on the air.
Yeah, we never got the call. Yeah, we never really got the studio fired up. It was just too much other stuff going on, you know. So we just kind of
too much All-Star Game. Too many stars getting beamed at the plate.
Jiminy Christmas! The gasp that went through this place when that happened. Oh my God! Everybody was like, oh, "No, that did not just happen. That did not just happen." Boy, so we will recap All-Star Game last night, which Timmy has now dubbed a snooze fest.
No, I didn't dub it a snooze fest.
Who did? It
wasn't me.
Well, it wasn't me. I see some in the national media.
Yeah, national media is calling it a snooze fest, and it wasn't me. I thought it was great.
Well, yeah, when you get a shutout like that, and the game moved fast with the pitch clock and all that, it was. I'll be honest with you. I was hosting a party, so I did not watch a whole lot of the game. Saw the highlights obviously last night and this morning, but we were kind of doing other stuff, just enjoying watching the game and Big O and the crew here. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll get into the game as well. Charlie Strong's going to join us at 11 o'clock to talk about SEC Media Days coming to Tampa next week. And it's going to be, kind of a fan fest going on, all that stuff. It's going to be really interesting. So we'll hit him about. So I texted Charlie, and obviously he went through these things with the Big 12 and AAC and ACC, these kickoff things in the middle of summer. And I said, hey, why don't you take us behind the scenes, like how you guys prep for this? Do you guys do like come together with your media department, say this is our team message, this is what we're going to put out there? How do you select the players that go? Like, what's the deal? How does this go down? So we'll chat with Charlie about
preparation.
What's the deal with these kickoffs? Who's doing this? When? Why? They first started these back in the 90s with we would go to, like, I think the first one for ACC was at Kiowa Island. Like, okay, let's go play golf on the ocean course, which we did. Yeah. So yes, they were very well attended. Lots of free food, lots of, fun stuff going on for the media. As with everything else, I'm sure that's calmed down. I haven't been to one in a long time, but we will be at the one this week for the SEC. So we'll chat a little bit about that. College football is upon us, as is pro football as well. Football season not far away. Big O's coming in at 10:30 to talk baseball and All-Star Game, so we'll do that as well. And Johnny Gerber is going to preview the Open Championship, which begins tomorrow at Royal Birkdale.
The granddaddy of them all.
Yes. I wonder what kind of watch party they're going to have at Royal Birkdale. You can't say it like regular. You have to say Royal Birkdale.
Royal Birkdale.
Yes. With England taking on Argentina today, or as we like to say, Vargentina, as they have advanced.
My thankfully. Damn Frenchies lost yesterday, so I'm again disinterested.
Spain was rather devastating, and
defense, man, holy crap!
Yeah, Mbappe could not bop. He just could not bop yesterday.
Couldn't bop very well.
Couldn't bop at all. He was Mbappe less in a game where Spain and scores early, and Spain was really, really good. They were really, really good defensively and offensively. They made the most of their chances, no question about that. So, and today we get England and Argentina playing, so that should be fun to see who moves on to the final in New Jersey.
That was the real final, though, right? Spain, France. That was the real final of this whole thing.
I think we kind of think that. We kind of feel that way. The soccer experts are telling us that, but don't count out the Lions of England, who've not won the World Cup since 1966.
Yeah,
for a country that claims football as their national pastime, you should have won the World Cup before 1966.
Well, they only had it since 1930.
Oh, yeah, but
it's not like the Super Bowl that's been going on since the 1840s.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Remember when Lincoln attended the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he threw out the first pitch at the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm. He did indeed. Right before the Gettysburg Address, I believe, which was in New York.
Gettysburg, Argentina.
So yeah, interesting game there. So we'll follow that for you, and we'll get you up to date on the British Open with Jackson Suber from Palmacia in Tampa here locally, playing in his first Open Championship, and he has been smoking hot on the PGA Tour. Has threatened to win about 4 tournaments in the last 2 months. So we're going to catch up with him when he gets back from across the pond. But good luck. We got some friends over there that are watching him. His dad's over there. A couple of members from Palmacia went over to watch him play in the Open. Maybe we can get them on tomorrow. We shall see. And happy birthday to Tampa.
How about that?
Yeah. Buckin says it's Tampa is having its 139th birthday. What an old bitch.
I think I've been there for all of them.
Yeah. Tampa's 139. Wow. Okay, cool.
Looks pretty good for its age, right? With a new stadium coming.
Yeah. Starting to look really good. Going to get a major facelift here. Yeah. So Rick says Charlie Miranda was in charge of the hydration breaks at the first World Cup. He was the original water boy. Brought it out in oaken buckets.
I love Rick's
with ladles.
Miranda jokes. Ladles.
Oh, and he was there.
Rusty ladles.
Let's get Charlie on his show to talk about the Tampa's first birthday in 139 years ago. He was there. No, he founded it. All right. So let's get into the All-Star game a little bit. And my Lord, man. So we're all watching the game kind of tangentially as we're eating our Riveters wings, which are absolutely fantastic. Thank you for Andres for coming over and bringing those over. Hot wings with all the different sauces. Sauces, big hit. Everybody loved that. Plus my burgers on the grill and hot dogs were also a big hit. We got a Traeger smoker here.
I've never used one of those. A pellet?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely makes your hot dogs and hamburgers a hell of a lot better. Really nice.
Really?
Yeah. We first class here, baby, at Kingmakers. So then we look up and you could just hear a gasp in the room. And I'm like, what just happened? And then the replay hits and I'm like, oh my God. They just broke Junior's hand. And I'm like, yeah, all that greatest season in Rays history just went down the shitter. I was, I think, so proud of my prediction and how this is going to come true. And I'm like, this is a bad omen. This is a very bad omen.
Jinx.
And then Alejandro, about 15 minutes later, comes up to me and says, with the post, no fractures, X-rays are negative for Junior Caminero. He said he had just a little bit of a wrap on it and says he plans on playing in both games on Friday, the doubleheader in Boston. So talk about dodging a bullet. And shout out to everybody involved in this, really, except for the pitcher, Ricky O'Brien, former Rays farmhand, by the way, which there are a lot of former Rays pitchers that are not pitching for the Rays anymore that were in this game last night. Evidently, we draft well. We just don't hold on to them,
don't keep them.
or develop them. But I think our pitching's been pretty good. I'm not complaining. It's not but it actually just goes to, that we have drafted well. And, that's the thing about baseball. You draft players, and especially the younger players, high school players, you have no idea what they're going to be. You hope to develop it. You trade them around with trading chips, and, and development is such a key thing. And wherever they go and whatever team and organization they go to. But one thing is for sure, when the Rays acquire pitchers, major league pitchers, they change their fortunes dramatically. Nick Martinez had never been to an All-Star game. He pitched last night. That was really cool. Brian Baker last night closes it out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. He comes in. I think it's just pitched one batter, got a comebacker and finishes it out. That's a pretty cool way to end it. But as a guy that's been a journeyman all his life, comes here, learns a changeup, and bada bing, bada boom. He's an all-star closer. That's pretty freaking cool. Rasmussen got in the game last night. Got retired 2 out of the 3 that he saw. Got to be reunited with Adley Rushman, who he pitched with and played with, battery mate at Oregon State. So that was pretty cool. Yandy got up a couple times and struck out both times, but that's no big deal. He was there with his family. Really enjoyed it. I mean, just in general, I don't know, Timmy, you watched it. You watched it more in a way that I did not. Was it boring? I don't know. The setting was. I thought the coolest thing was when they came out in the starting lineup and they with the desk from Independence Hall and they with the plume pen and wrote their names, and that's freaking cool. And
the funniest part of that I saw were the tweets immediately following that said, "That's pretty cool how MLB got all of the players to sign the new collective bargaining agreement without them even knowing it."
Yes, nice, nicely done.
Now, look, man, the presentation was incredible. And as far as the game, I saw a lot of hate for the game. A lot of people, well, if you watch the first couple of innings, you watch the whole game. You didn't have to watch the rest. Well, look, everybody knows I'm on record as I love defense in baseball. I love the pitchers' duels, right? I like the 1-0 game more than the 11-10 game. That's just my taste. That's how I prefer my baseball. And the fact that it happened in an all-star game, and by the way, in an all-star game in a year where the National League is obviously by far superior to the American League. It's not even close. You had the American League shut out the National League. Like, I don't know who saw that coming. I can't wait to ask Big O about that because that still wasn't supposed to happen last night. But
also, 8 of the top 10 NL pitchers didn't pitch.
Yeah,
only Sanchez and Luzardo. No Mazeroski, no Skeens, no Chase Burns, no Shohei Ohtani, no Yamamoto, no Braxton Ashcraft, no Chris Sale. I mean,
but it wasn't the pitching. It wasn't the pitching that failed the National League. It was the bats.
Yeah, true.
So that's, I mean, you can look at that all you want, but offense was the issue, not pitching. So, man, I thought it was great. I had a couple of notes here, JP. Number one, every day I hear Joe Davis do a baseball game, I love him more.
Yeah.
And I miss Joe Buck even less. And I love Joe Buck. I'm a Joe Buck guy. I love Joe Buck. I will listen to him call anything. During COVID, when there was no sports, he was posting videos of himself doing play-by-play of his wife making pancakes. Okay. He was literally doing play-by-play of his neighbor walking his dog down the street. And I was funny. In on it. Was so funny, and it was awesome. Dude, I am into Davis, dude. Davis is really, really good. And I thought he was really good. Number 2, the uniforms.
Budding bromance.
Maybe so, man. I am so happy that they're back to wearing their regular team uniforms, which I think they went back to last year, right?
Yes.
2024 was the last year they used those softball looking uniforms.
I love
that they're in their team's uniforms. That's how it should be. The other thing that I saw, or that I heard, I think I heard it during the game, and maybe, again, me watching baseball for 139 years that I have, the Chicago White Sox have been around the league for a long time.
Yeah.
The Chicago White Sox have had a lot of really good players in their time.
Yeah.
The Chicago White Sox have been represented since the very first Major League Baseball All-Star Game at the old Comiskey in 1933. That was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, Miguel Vargas was only the 3rd White Sox player to ever hit a home run in All-Star Game history.
Wow. That is surprising.
Do you want to know who the first was?
Yeah.
Your first. Who was the first? The Big Hurt in 1995.
Okay, yeah.
I
Frank
mean,
Thomas.
and then Maglio Ordonez, and then Maglio Ordonez did it in 01. But I don't know, the stat seemed like unbelievable to me that we've had all these All-Star games, and until 95, no White Sox player had ever hit a home run in the All-Star game, and now we've had 3 since 90. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. That's
Has a Rays player hit a home run
in an All-Star game?
Rays player hit a home run in an All-Star game. I think they have. I can't remember who it was, but I think they have.
It just seemed incredible to me. Yeah, but I mean, again, the Rays have only been around since 98. So I mean,
I'm curious.
I get it, but for the Sox, who've been around forever, that threw me as odd. But I will say, going back to the game, I loved the presentation. I loved the game. It had literally everything I wanted to see in an All-Star game, plus the American League one. I'm always an American League guy. So, and you had Ray's pitching show up pretty big. You had, the Caminero scare, obviously, but he's okay. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah. No big deal. I thought all in all, it was a great presentation.
By the way, the answer is no.
No Rays player.
Evan Longoria, Carl Crawford, Randy Rosarena, Yandy Diaz, and Junior Caminero, none have managed to clear the fence during the actual game. And of course, Junior was the runner-up in the home run derby last year, semifinalist this year. So Junior will be the first. I will make that bold prediction that Junior will be the first Ray to ever hit a home run in an All-Star game. I will make that prediction. Absolutely.
He might have done it.
By the way,
he had not gotten hurt.
Yeah. And listen, Riley O'Brien was very concerned. You could see it on his face. He was crushed. But I also feel like, why are we pitching inside in an All-Star game? Because I know the book on Junior is you throw high inside fastballs, but that in an All-Star game, and I'm sure he didn't mean to hit him. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
John Schneider texts Kevin Cash right away. Hey, he's fine. Everybody did what they should. Patrick Zalewski went down to the dressing room to see if he was okay. Everybody did what they were supposed to do, and everything turned out fine. But still, it's just, man, what a scary moment. Because literally, I mean, the entire season's hanging in the balance. We're all like, oh, that's the Hammett bone. If he's going to be out for the whole season. It was just scary, scary moment. And that got your adrenaline pumping.
I get the second guessing. Why are we pitching high and tight in an All-Star game? But you know what? You're still trying to win the game. You're still pitching for your,
right. Exactly.
For you. And I don't want these guys to play any different in an All-Star game than they do in the regular season. I don't. And I know they do. I get it. It's an exhibition. I get it. But it's an exhibition of baseball. You guys are all-stars because of the way you played during the regular season. That's what I want to see. We don't have to go back to Pete Rose, bowling over the catcher at home plate. And I'm not saying that because you don't really have that in the game anymore anyway. That's not part of the game anymore. But I don't, you're pitching to get the guy out. So you're going to pitch at his weakness. If his weakness is high and tight,
I get it.
That's the risky run, as a batter, playing the game, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it.
Buckin 2020 has 0220 has a problem with it. He says, if you can't control your pitches or your adrenaline, you shouldn't be in the All-Star game. Okay, I'm like, who is that pitching to? Riley O'Brien. I'm like, who? Yeah. We got a super chat from Jimmy J, who was here last night. Thank you, JP, for hosting an amazing watch party. Great to see all of the Peterman's family just sitting back and talking and enjoying baseball. It was a really, really cool environment. When Big O gets here, we'll talk more about it and show you some pictures from last night. But, man, it was outstanding. And thank you guys so much for showing up. Alex Nunn with a $10 super chat said, JP, hope you're well. My God, the Caminero scare Rays fans all over. Sorry I missed the party. As you know, I am in Cleveland. Yeah, man, we're going to – listen, it went really well last night, and we're going to do a lot more of these for the Petermans. And we are starting our subscriber service where if you become a VI Peterman, you will be eligible to join us for one of these type of events. We're shooting for once a quarter, Timmy, to do that and get you a hat and a polo as well to be, become a year-long subscriber. Just want to kind of this is what everybody does in this business now. We're not begging for money, but it's part of the revenue streams that we do. And it makes you invested in it. And I appreciate you guys really being part of it and give you an opportunity to do that. We'll have a lower level at $4.99. That will give you some access as well. We'll do some extra shows. You'll get your comments put to the front of the line, all that good stuff. You can go to our YouTube page and sign up. And we're going to have a lot of fun with that. All right, a couple other things. Breaking news here this morning. Stevie Yzerman is out in Detroit.
It's about time.
As their general manager. He abruptly resigned.
Long overdue.
That was kind of a interesting thing. His whole story is interesting because obviously, he working in the Red Wings organization and wasn't the general manager, but I'm trying to remember back actually. And he got the opportunity to come to Tampa with Mr. Vinnick and just did a hell of a job. And nobody thought he would ever leave Detroit. And Mr. Vinnick did a fantastic job getting him out of there. And obviously he built the core of the team that we have right now. So we have a huge debt to Stevie Yzerman. He did a great job building this team with Hedman and Kucherov and Vasilevsky and all the core players. And then he went back to Detroit like everyone thought he would. And I think we all thought he was going to just do the same thing up there. But it's just not that easy, man. It's not that easy. And, JBB has done a fantastic, Julien Brisebois, RGM, has done a fantastic job of picking up where Yzerman left off and adding those needed changes to get us over the hump to win the Stanley Cup a couple times. So very, very, I don't think anybody's shocked by it, but it's going to be different. And Chris Ilitch, who's the owner there, said, yeah, man, listen, this is just not what our fans deserve. And, he is the golden child in Detroit, and this must be a very hard decision for the organization, I would think. But Stevie Yzerman out in Detroit. He'll get another opportunity, though. I think he will. He's too good. He's too good at talent evaluation. Obviously he had some blind spots. He couldn't get the Lightning over the hump, but I think in time he may have, as that team he put together came together. Go Millionaire says Stevie would never give up the assets to get the core over the hump. He valued picks too much. Buckin 0220 says, I remember when Yzerman left here, I thought the world was crumbling and we would never win anything. I did too. I thought that was a huge loss. I really did. But you just never know. Aviation says the next Peterman's field trip should be to Mons Venus. Heard they have great wings.
That's when I get there. Yeah. During my visit, that'll be our official trip.
Well, the Odyssey is next to Rivers, who brings us the winds, the spaceship. So, I mean, I don't know.
We can make a tour of it. Why not just go?
I will not be present. I will not be present, but you guys have at it.
Wink, wink. JP won't be there. Wink, wink.
I will not. No need. I got the hottest one right in my room.
Okay. Ownership.
Go Millionaire says, turns out JBB was the mastermind in the front office behind Stevie. Oh, interesting. The 2 cups and almost 4 cups arguably were done by the tweaks JBB made. So you're not giving any credit to Stevie Y? I think that's not what you're saying, but
did Stevie Y hire JBB?
Yeah, he was his protege.
Then he gets credit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And it's another piece of news that came out yesterday. John Gruden, Super Bowl head coach, will be joining Rondé Barber in the WFLA booth, the Channel 8 booth for preseason Buccaneers football.
Oh, that's a booth to listen to, man.
That should be fun.
Wow.
Yeah, only if they could cuss, it would really be good. Yeah, 2 guys that love each other, love football, are super entertaining. That'll be way better than the game. Obviously, way better than the game. And I hope we don't get any, if the national networks pick up your game, then the local guys don't do it.
Yeah.
So I hope, I don't know if that schedule is out yet, but I hope the national people don't steal our games because I want to hear those two talk about Buccaneer football.
Well, if
that
I'm the national,
super fun.
If I'm the national broadcast on that, I want those two guys in the booth for the national broadcast.
I guess they could do that. Yeah, we'll broadcast your game, but we're going to keep you. I mean, think about that booth: Chris Myers, Rondé Barber, and John Gruden. That's better than any booth you're bringing in here. I can tell you that. Certainly for Bucs fans, it's way better than any booth you're bringing in here. So, that's an interesting take.
I mean, I love Chris Myers. I can do without him these days, though. He's slipping just a little bit.
Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I'm sorry. I love Chris.
Blasphemy. No.
I know. They for some reason they use him in way too many spots. Stuff he doesn't know a lot about.
Because he's so good.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get into this. Pooh Shiesty just said this. Manfred came out in favor of the new Rays stadium. I mean, why wouldn't he be in favor of it? This has been the bane of his existence forever. But he's always been super supportive of the moving the team to Tampa, and super supportive of this market. When I finally do my stadium documentary and I get to sit down with Manfred one-on-one, I want the story of the St. Pete deal crumbling. I think I know the story. I have some pretty, we've talked about it here many, many times. It's really not the time to do that, but I'm just here to tell you that we owe a huge debt of gratitude to Rob Manfred for getting this deal done where it should be, which is Tampa. No disrespect to St. Petersburg at all. We never do that. They're going to be much better off with the redevelopment of the Trop side. It's just not a good place for 81 Major League Baseball games. That's all. But and Manfred has always known that. Major League Baseball has always intended this team to eventually be in Tampa. Bud Selig said that, quoted. So listen, it is what it is. But still there were moves to be made that had to be made to get this done. And Manfred, maybe a little bit too late for my taste, but he got it done, and that's all that matters. So we do owe a huge debt of gratitude to Rob Manfred. In the story from Mark Topkin in the Times today, he says he is pleased with the way that lead owner Patrick Zalewski and Ken Babby have handled the protracted negotiations with Tampa and Hillsborough, pushback votes, extensive discussions, working out detailed agreements, and 1,000 plus pages of definitive documents. But he wants to see the deal done. Wow, wait a minute. Hold on. Is this the Times?
Double check your source.
Oh, yeah. I believe that was a positive paragraph. If I'm not mistaken. I believe that was, yeah. I read that. Okay. Of course, they're paraphrasing how Manfred feels. Certainly not a column from the Times. Now he wants the deal done, writes Mark Topkin. Every delay just makes it more difficult to hit a timetable of when the stadium is going to open, Manfred told the Times. But the more important point is that the project gets approved to keep the club in the Tampa Bay region. Yes. They continue. Rays officials seem optimistic of reaching agreement on the necessary funding package for close to $1 billion in public money, potentially by increasing the already larger percentage covered by the county and decreasing what the city is responsible for, with the team paying more than half of the total price plus cost overruns. Still no mention of the entire project. Interesting. The Rays last week released eye-catching renderings of the proposed ballpark that would include a transparent roof, massive video boards, an aquarium-type Rays tank, and a retractable batter's eye, among other notable features. Under the team plan, the deal needs to be completed and construction underway in the next few months to be ready by late March 2029. Quote, I have great confidence that Patrick and Ken Babby will get the deal done if there's a deal to be had, Manfred said, and there is a deal to be had. Any extended delays could force the team to recalculate financial aspects of the project, which also includes a privately funded adjacent, here we go, live, work, learn, play complex, and also create the need for either an extension of their lease at St. Pete Tropicana Field or arrangements for an interim home in 2029.
What about all the low-income housing? Where is that?
Shut up.
It was so important.
That comes from the revenue generated.
Oh, okay.
and will be built in a more appropriate place.
It'll
That
be
would be the
elsewhere.
smart way to do it, as opposed to the St. Pete politically palatable, but logistically ridiculous solution of putting affordable housing right next to a stadium. So thank you for not doing that.
So stupid.
But it looks good on the page. This is a quote from Babby. Said, "We are working diligently together on definitive documents together, but timing remains paramount to our joint success. The deal and the path forward hinges on timing and a mutual desire to bring this transformational project forward, and the time is now to do so." Let me read between the lines there. There's going to be pushback to wait until November to see if the proposed homeowners tax is deleted. That's going to be on the ballot in November. And again, I feel that either way that vote goes, you still need to create revenue and find ways to create revenue. And if it does pass, and then it's even more important to find more ways to create revenue, because if you think, oh, let's just hold this money back and we'll be able to do what we need to do. No, that won't work. That won't work at all. That's definitely, you have no chance to keep up. But if you do this, you have a great opportunity and a very likely opportunity to recoup much more money in the billions of dollars of tax revenue to be able to do the infrastructure things that you need to do in Hillsborough County. And I think that's the way most of the smart county commissioners and city council folks are looking at that, hopefully. And I think that's where it's at. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get more into the All-Star Game and the second half with our tremendous Emmy Award-winning baseball analyst, Orestes Destrade, and much more on the SEC meetings coming up. Charlie Strong will be joining us here in studio. We got a very packed house today. We love it. Studio's looking good. John Hill brought us a new Mike Evans signed jersey to my left. I got to show you that. You can get that in the 2-shot, which I did give you if you want to pop that up. We are brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. There it is. See? Nice. It's replaced the big red machine, rightfully so. There we go. And then we got Nate brought us the Longo hat in front here. We got a nice Longo bobblehead that Scotty Fitz brought us. So in the Longo, we got all kinds of stuff that we got from last night's party. Thanks to Genesis of Tampa, the Murphy Auto Group, which obviously is the home of Kingmakers right here, where we are coming to you from. Great place, KingmakersTampa.com. And Genesis of Tampa, which, by the way, they just came to pick up my car for my valet service. So they're going to take it back to Genesis of Tampa, service my car, clean it all up, and by the time this show is over, it will be back here. That's how they do the valet service at Genesis of Tampa. Aren't you jealous?
I am.
Go buy a car there. You can get the same deal and no payments for 90 days. How good is that? Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue, just off of 275. Back in 3. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
Big thanks to Italiano Insurance, the great folks over there. They will soon be part of Gallagher Insurance. A little name change, but same great folks, same great customer service you've known for over 65 years. They do all the work. You save all the money. ItalianoInsurance.com at 813-877-7799. Hey, guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler, so don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source, so if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Bad idea. And with the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, starring Orestes Destrade.
No.
Look at,
You're a little too pale to be me.
look at not a big brown Cuban. I don't know what voice that was, but welcome back. Brought to you by the great folks of Riveters, who Andre stopped by with the wings last night. I brought some in for my lunch today as well. I'm good with those wings.
Thank you, Hamon. First of all, they're outstanding.
Yeah,
They're great, and what a supporter to the JP Peterson effort.
Andres is awesome.
Andres is the best.
Yeah.
And everybody loved him, because if you have not had a Riveters wing, you haven't had a wing.
And he brought all the homemade sauces.
The homemade
blue
sauces.
chips.
Bro,
hot,
the event
mild.
was outstanding. It starts with this venue, and that was the first thing. If you notice that everybody that walked in, they're like, damn, when you talk about Kingmakers, we didn't know what this thing was. This is nice. I mean, I had Jason Michaels walk in.
Yeah,
this
how about
is a
that?
big leaguer,
Yeah.
my homie, who we're going to have on the show. And he's like, dude, this is a kick-ass place.
Yeah,
So we do it right over here.
absolutely. And so much more to come. We're just, we're just
this
getting
is
in
just
here and
getting
getting
going.
things
Yeah.
going. But
A lot.
There's the whole. That's about half of the people we had last night. We took this picture later on in the evening
Good
before
turnout,
everybody
man.
fled.
50 to 60 people came in and out of here.
Yeah, and
It
then
was
Holy
outstanding.
crap! Are you serious?
Oh no, dude. No,
I didn't know that many people listen to the show.
Yeah, well, you're in Texas. Maybe your show, but over
here, shots fired.
Damn.
Shots
Has
fired.
the NFL season started yet? It might have started today.
Yeah. Shots fired. Shots fired. There's Michael LaRue and his lovely
Who's the
bride.
unhappy couple? Oh God, Michael
And
LaRue.
that ring on their finger is from the Golden Diamond Source right there.
Is
the
it really?
Golden Diamond Source, of course.
There you go.
Peterman's listen. They support
cross-marketing,
they support
cross-marketing
riveters.
to
They
it.
they support everyone.
I think the best part about that picture right there is not the happy so-called happy couple. I think the best part about that picture is the jersey. I want one of those Black Rays jerseys.
Yeah,
that is
an A-Rod behind them, menacingly
A-Rod.
looking down at them. Yes, like what?
By the
What
way,
are you doing with that woman?
I got to ask Big O this real quick while you flash through pictures.
There's
How
Andres in the
bad?
red. There's John Hill that brought us the Mike Evans.
John Hill.
He's the best.
I think he might have won MVP of the ASG game.
Yeah,
he might have been the Bellinger of the event, bringing that deal.
There you see the sports bar right there. There's Mike Holcomb. There's Scotty Fitz. Rob Stern was there.
Yeah,
big hitters, sir. We had big hitters.
it was a fun event. They all were just enjoying it.
There's Joe and his lovely girlfriend there, Argentina, representing Argentina. There's Alejandro.
Alejandro, bro.
Gamer man.
Alejandro. Well, first, ask me what's you had a quick question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about A-Rod before the or was it after? I can't remember when it was. The home run derby Monday night, interviewing Justin Verlander.
I don't think I caught that.
When he props him up and he gives him all these oh man, I used to try to hit against you, blah blah. You threw a couple past me, good times, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. I've been a fan of your career since day one when you came up with the Tigers, just amazing. I watched you. Number one, Alex Rodriguez is a horrible interview anyway. He's a athlete. He shouldn't be a journalist.
Go ahead, speak.
But this is literally on TV. What he said to Justin Verlander. Hey, Justin, can you just give a message to all the kids out there who might be coming up with maybe not a lot of talent and maybe have some disadvantages that a guy like you can come up, a guy that got DFA'd twice early in his career and a late round draft pick.
Right.
And can you all these things? And Justin Verlander is looking at him like, me? Are you talking about me?
Are you talking about me? Have you
He
seen
said,
my
I've
wife?
never been DFA'd once in my life.
Have you seen my wife? That's
And
all
I
you
was a
gotta
number 2 overall draft pick.
Dude.
Yeah,
So
like what
did he
was
just
he
not
talking
I don't
about?
know. He's
Do
try- he-
any
he gets a
research on
little- he gets
Justin
a little
Verlander?
flowery, and he gets ahead of himself.
But he's wrong.
Yeah, he had the wrong guy. He was thinking of Justin Jones, a guy that played at USF, maybe 20. I don't know who he was thinking of, bro.
What the?
It was embarrassing, man. And Big Poppy was on the other side of the
That's
table.
my A-Rod.
Big Poppy was over there with a look on his face like, dude, what are you doing? It was
I wonder
hysterical.
I wonder if some producer who A-Rod shit on,
Oh, that would be funny.
like slid a little
note.
Justin
Hey,
Verlander bio.
Why aren't you asking about this?
Slid it down there and go, yeah,
Perfect for the kids because you're pushing kids now. Because he's doing a lot of stuff with.
I wonder if that happened.
You know
That'd be
what?
so funny.
And
man. I applaud that
Listen,
producer.
he is possibly could be the Ron Burgundy at times on.
Oh
there.
yeah, oh yeah, oh
They
yeah.
Just put the
prompter up.
and then be like,
I'll read it. Fuck you, San Diego. I think that went well.
I think that went well.
Lord. By the way,
I missed that, but I'm going to have to go back and I'm sure it's all
go
over
back
the
and
internet.
listen to it. Go back and listen to it. Also, speaking of a guy that's winning in life, did you see the photo of Junior Caminero arriving at the All-Star Game on the red carpet?
Oh, let's pop that up.
If you got it, I'd love to see it.
There it is. You can't. Yeah.
Talk about a guy winning in life, man.
Damn.
Yeah, that just says I win.
Yeah.
I win. Look at my beautiful hot wife who looks like Snow White princess.
Lord.
My gorgeous daughter. And he just looks like a badass in that all white suit with the glasses.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I love that guy, man. You know,
He's
we are
awesome.
we're so blessed here in Tampa Bay, Timmy, to have a guy like this who's just a freaking not only is he a cornerstone of our franchise, and the fact that he gets it about the fans, he's constantly throwing balls out to the fans, and he's a great teammate.
Well, listen, we went from the debacle of Wander, before the debacle, before the egregious mistake, or put an S to it, right?
Yeah,
that he made with that whole situation, because it wasn't just a one-off. It was he was having a relationship, but and was found guilty of it. You had a ball. You had the future face of the franchise, who was a polarizing figure. We didn't even know if the other teammates liked him. This is not the case with Junior Caminero. This is a positive guy and a superstar in the making. I won't give him the superstar tag yet, because you got to do it for 4 or 5 years to get true. Superstar gets thrown out so frivolously, but he is a star and a superstar, uberstar, megastar in the making. When he got hit yesterday, holy cow! Like our party, we were all having fun and talking, watching the game. Hey, man, Junior's coming up. And we all kind of stopped and looked. Hey, let's look at the at-bat. He gets hit. How quiet did that whole place
It just went,
lefty, not so much righty. The knob is here. You're hitting the finger off of the knob, and that's where you get the breaks a lot of time. And that's what it looked like exactly. When I saw it and the finger kind of flailed and he got up and left, I'm like, oh, shit. He broke his pinky. And that takes
terrible.
That's 6 to 8 weeks. That's 6 to 8 weeks. You're lucky 6 weeks, and then a couple of weeks of rehab.
Yeah, and then how hard is it to get your timing back in the middle of a season?
Very difficult. Hand injuries are so difficult. We're literally worse than leg injuries for a hitter.
Yeah, because
you're worried about it now. You're a little trepidatious, and everything comes into play. I will say that Alejandro, so we were waiting for 20-30 minutes?
Yeah,
probably about 30 minutes before the message came out that the x-rays were negative.
Yeah.
He got on the ground. He started I think he prayed to every god known to man.
Well, it worked. It worked.
He was like, thank you, Allah, God, Buddha, the guy who played Evan Almighty,
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. Dennis Haybert from the State Farm commercial, who also played God on Lucifer.
The 7 from Games of Thrones.
Yeah, that God. He prayed to everybody and said, thank you.
It worked.
It freaking worked.
I don't know how
he got off his knees. He goes, yeah,
I don't know how you take a 98-mile-an-hour fastball off your pinky and nothing. Oh.
Hey, by the way, did you hear that O'Brien, props to the kid O'Brien from the St. Louis Cardinals, went after the game into the clubhouse to the American League and, found Junior. He said, I'm so sorry. And Junior said, dude, it's part of the game. I know it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
still, get your shit together, bro.
Here comes JP.
You can't control your pitches. Get the hell out of here.
He was nervous. He's exciting, and he's got 100 miles in his arm. That's not a good combination.
Throw outside corner.
Yeah, true.
Throw outside corner.
True. He went 2-seamer in.
Yeah.
And Junior.
Which
and by the way,
trying to get him out.
By the way, more than most hitters, Junior dives in a lot. He dives.
I get it. He
dives in a lot. So we got to be careful about that. But he's okay. And it was like a big but a great event. Domination on the American League side of pitchers. By the way, of the 20 total pitchers that pitch, 6 have Tampa Bay ties.
Wow.
Yeah, whether they, obviously, Raz and Nick pitched and Baker pitched, but 3 other pitchers that were recently or have been raised.
O'Brien
pitchers.
Was.
Yeah,
he
7
was.
Actually, 7. O'Brien, Sanchez was in the system. Michael Walker
was a free agent we signed.
Waka. Yeah, so little Rays ties in there, and for a team, the little engine that could, well represented at the All-Star Game.
Damn right. And the game itself, we didn't get to watch much of it.
Yeah,
most of it. Was kind of
we were meet and greeting.
But it was 15 strikeouts by American League pitching on the National League. Yeah.
Domination. They only had 3 hits.
Yeah.
And nobody had more than 1 hit on the National League side. Great job by Yankees guys and Rice and obviously Belly. The Cuban Vargas, hey, man, I heard his interview after the game. By the way, speaks pretty decent English for a kid that just got here just a few years ago. I take my hat off to him for how hard he's working at mastering the English. When you really think about it, it's a difficult thing to come here as a full-on adult and then trying to learn English. So props to him, and he did a great interview. Just a surprising, honestly, on paper, National League should have wiped the slate because they had the better team. Timmy and I talked about that on Monday, but was not the case. That's why in baseball, like in most sports, you play on the field, not on paper.
A couple comments on last night and also on Riley O'Brien. Buckin says Riley O'Brien just quickly moved up to my most hated players list. Smoltz stated O'Brien loses control of his hard sinker sometimes and always had issues with it.
Yeah.
Threw high and up on Bobby Witt, too, the next batter.
He did.
Yeah.
He almost
pretty much excusing the pitcher.
In the chin.
Yeah. That
can't happen.
Well, then don't throw the pitch.
Yeah.
It's an exhibition.
Throw it down.
Throw it down.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to hit somebody in the leg or something, but don't go chest high how do you miss chest high with a hard 98-mile-an-hour sinker? You just should not be happening. I'll never forget Rob Dibble talking to Robbie, and he was saying, dude, if you're in the major leagues, you should be able to control. If I hit a guy, it's because I wanted to.
If you're an all-star?
Yeah, you should be able to control all your pitches.
Yeah.
Within inches.
Yeah, and if
literally inches.
And especially after you just hit Caminero, how do you not say, you know what, I'm just going to go away with all my pitches?
I don't want to get smoked in the All-Star game, but I'm going to go down.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Let's go down and away.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to use the scouting report to get guys out right now. We're just trying to, not kill anybody and ruin their season.
Ray Fosse.
Yeah. I mean,
Steve Rose ruined his career.
Yeah.
At an All-Star game.
At an All-Star game. Yeah.
Almost killed him.
Almost took him out completely.
Yeah. Yeah. Go Millionaire says, if you can't control the pitch, how about don't throw it in an exhibition? People want to see home runs anyway, so just throw it down the middle. For the sake
That's
of
the tricky thing about that game last night. It was, when you have that dominance of pitching, but really from both sides, because if you take away Sanchez kind of losing his control and not finding his zone, you're talking both sides dominated, right? Mm-hmm. Other than one solo homer, so you wanted more. Your fans aren't there to see, oh, what a great slider that was on the black.
Right.
So they thankfully who was it for Toronto? Ernie Clement made a phenomenal play, in the infield. So you want great plays and blasts, triples and doubles and homers. Oh my, that's what you want. So
Jumbo FPS says, I'd love to come to the next event. Found out last second that I actually was free last night. You should have stopped by. So the next one will be a football watch party of some sort. Maybe the Bucks' first away game.
Oh, wow.
We could do.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. We'll do because we're right down the street from the
right
stadium.
Down the street.
Not that matters for an away game, but
it doesn't. Yeah.
But we're gonna. So go to the YouTube page, become a VI Peterman's. See what we did there?
Yeah, buddy. I see what you did there.
And or just a regular Peterman. But if you're a regular Peterman, you don't get to come to the events.
Yeah.
So that's
they had a blast, guys. I'm serious. I'm not kidding you. I had a blast. Everybody, it was fun. The food was on point. JP was grilling.
I did grill last night.
You did grill
on the Traeger.
Even though we had a million wings,
and still do.
But thank you again, Riveters. But it was just really just a cool. Like everybody had this good glow about them at the event. You know how many events we've been to.
Yeah.
And this was on point, well run, in out. We watched the game. The center is the big screen. Anywhere you walk, you're watching the game. There's screens all over.
Big O got up there and thanked everybody for coming. We did a little
it was nice.
Speech, and and I was like, and the All-Star game's on behind me. And I'm like, and by the way, what's happening right here, and that be on a wide shot of the stadium.
Yeah, it was
2030 coming to right up the road here.
Yeah,
about a mile away in Dale Mabry hosting an All-Star game. Now I heard that the 2030 is going to be the 100th All-Star Game.
Is it? Okay.
So typically you don't get an All-Star Game until after you've had 1 year in the new stadium.
Got it.
So that would be 2030 would be the first one. So, but since it's the 100th, it'll probably go somewhere else.
Yeah, Chicago
maybe.
or
So a more storied ballpark, Fenway,
Fenway.
Wrigley for the 100th, right? Maybe.
I think that might make.
But if we get it, we get it. That's fine. But if not 30, it'll be a 31.
100%.
It'll be 30, which will be
because they love beautiful new venues.
But it's
the Marlins Stadium got the All-Star Game within 3 years, I think, of its existence. So
and the Trop never got one.
Yeah, the
for
Trop
good reason.
never got one.
Never got one. Just bitch slapped the Trop.
Never got a dinner.
Never got a dinner. Trop never got a dinner. For those of you who knew the old the celebrity roast, the original roast, that was who was it that did that?
Oh, I can't.
Which
Martin.
Oh, who was it?
Dean Martin.
Yeah, he did the roast, but who was the guy that was his
Red
bit? Never
Buttons.
got a dinner. Yes, Red
Oh,
Buttons.
never
got a dinner.
I am definitely 64, bro.
Yeah.
I am definitely. I just realized that at a little shy of 11 o'clock on July 15th, I'm definitely 64.
Yeah.
Remember,
I'm
64.
dangerously close to 63.
I'm 64.
Yeah.
There is no I in me.
Yep.
Just an E.
Yeah. So yeah, wrapping it up. Thank you all for coming last night, and this
applause to the Petermans.
Just the beginning of building
Peter
this
ladies.
this great this great movement.
They were here.
Yeah, we had a few.
LaRue's wife.
Yeah.
She's a fan.
Yeah,
we had several.
Yeah. Katie was here.
Yeah, the mom
Box,
of our boy
LaRue. Yeah,
that was
Mrs. LaRue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's girlfriend. I forget her name. Caroline, I believe. Yeah. And the lovely Ashley, the matriarch of all of them. Yeah.
Outstanding event.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a break. The coach is here. Coach Strong is here. We're going to talk about media days. What do coaches do for media days? Do they prep for them? Do they prep the players?
These days, they better.
SEC meetings, media days coming to Tampa.
It goes worldwide now.
It could go very wrong for Lane Kiffin this week. I don't know how that's going to go. Should be it went kind of wrong last week for the Big 12. There were some interesting moments there. So it's kind of become a cool system. So we'll talk to Coach about that. And we are brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance, soon to be AJ Gallagher Insurance. But you're going to get the same customer service, 60 years of great customer service, still going to be there for you. But more options open to you, which will save you money. That's ItalianoInsurance.com, soon to be AJ Gallagher Insurance. Get your homeowners insurance, your flood insurance, your business insurance. Make sure you are well covered, and that great customer service they are known for. That ain't going anywhere at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799. Back in 3 with the coach. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted #3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salsicce salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
And maybe if you become a Peterman, you get access to the before the show and the breaks. No, you'll never get access to that. You don't want to. We can't let you hear all that stuff. Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show.
You can't possibly charge enough for that.
It's not that it's anything nefarious. It's just, this guy's talking. Welcome back to the show, brought to you by the great folks at Kingmakers Tampa, where we are coming to you from here. Really, really cool club. You can become a member here. Just go to kingmakerstampa.com and check out all the interesting stuff you got right there. And thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They also do AC, American Standard Heating and Cooling. Our good friends John Rodriguez and PJ running that joint over there. Get the maintenance special. 2 visits for $169. That's stealing to get somebody to come out, look at your AC twice and drain the line and all that. $169. Thirdgenerationplumbing.com is the website. Email them, call them, tell them JP sent you. All right, let's
check out your drain line.
That's right. Charlie Strong joining us here, former head coach at Louisville and Texas and USF. What's up, Coach? How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Jay?
Aren't you glad you don't have to do media days?
Oh, God. Do you miss it? Oh,
yeah, do you really miss it? Do you really miss it?
You know what happens?
All these jerks like me asking stupid questions. Come on.
Always trying to create a story. And because, this time of year is dead.
Yeah.
So nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
So now you go to media day and somebody says something and all of a sudden it just takes off.
Like wildfire.
Just like wildfire, because there's nothing else going on. So
right.
you try to caution, hey, listen, be careful what you say. Just talk about your team, talk about how the summer's going, how the workouts are going, and
what you got for your birthday.
Hoping you don't have any issues, because if you have a player that's had an issue or been arrested, that's going to come up.
Right, right. Oh, right.
Really, hey, what are you doing about so-and-so? He's got arrested, so what are you going to do about that? And they all want an answer, and they're all sitting there. And it is all about how you answer the question, Jay, because sometimes it's taken out of context and then it just takes off.
Yeah.
I mean, like nothing. Like I can remember, and I was at University of Florida. So we're at we're going to play who's Oklahoma? No, we're going to play Ohio State.
Is that for the national
For
championship?
the national Oklahoma, because we were in Miami.
Okay.
And we're going to play Ohio Oklahoma for the national championship game. So at that time, I was defensive coordinator at Florida, and most of the coaches that had been a coordinator, either offense or defense, when their team went to the national championship game, those guys were getting jobs.
Right.
So I didn't, I wasn't getting a job. I didn't get a job. So one reporter asked me, and everybody was there, and he said to me, "Was it because your wife is white?" And I was like, "No, I don't think that's the reason why." I said, "Because number one, my wife don't know much about defense, and she make no defensive calls." So that was my answer.
That is a fantastic answer.
That was my answer. So
because you're,
so then the headlines.
I remember that now.
The headlines the next day. I'm the lead story on Sports Center. I'm sitting there and
you're the lead story on sports. Yeah,
I'm eating breakfast. Me and Brandon Spikes eating breakfast. And the lead story, Charlie Strong says he's not a head coach because his wife is white. And Spikes looks at me and he's like, "Wow, can you believe that?"
That's the headline.
And that was the
after
headline.
what you said.
After what I said. So then an AD called me and he said to me, he's like, "Wow." And he said, "They must have really pissed you off." And I said, "No, I didn't. And he said, "But here's what you have to do." He said, "Tomorrow night, you get your team ready to go play, and they'll go and beat Oklahoma. Then nothing can be said."
Yeah.
And our team and our defense, when played, lights out.
Kicked ass.
And, yeah.
Yes.
But it's all about, you're sitting there sometimes, and the story can be created, and it can take off sometimes, Jay, and you can't slow it down. Like, you can't stop it.
Like how you get that headline out of what you said, which was a great response, a fantastic response.
And
were you prepared for that? Did anybody say someone might ask you this?
No, you don't have no idea what's going to be said. You have no idea.
Where did that even come from?
Like the questions that are asked, those it's like whatever they feel like asking at a time.
Well, I mean, the media, especially ESPN, is absolutely fixated on dividing us racially. And they use sports to do it all the time. It's the race baiting, and it's one of the reasons I despise a lot of what ESPN does, because it's disgusting on so many levels.
Well, and you just hate for that to be a story
right.
And then I had other reporters around, and he was like, "You didn't say that," and I was like, "I know there's 50 guys standing there, and really one guy took it." And wrote the article.
Did you reach out to that reporter and say, "What the F are you doing?"
No, I didn't.
You just let it.
I just let it be, because you know what, we would have played well and won the game.
That's right.
So just let my guys.
And you got a head coaching job anyway. A few of them, pretty good ones too.
So I just said, let my guys do the work. So
Now
it wasn't.
That's the best way to handle it, right?
Yeah. Because a lot of times, if you try to get in the middle of it, then you end up saying something that you don't want to say, and then that's taken out of context.
Yeah.
And so it's best just to leave it alone, go about your business, and it'll be fine. Yeah.
That's why, having been in this business for 40 years now, and having gone to journalism school and all that, to see what the media has become is embarrassing. I would never defend what's going on in the media right now. You can't really defend what's going on in the media now. It's agenda driven, it's divisive, it's all that. And ESPN is the worst offender, in my opinion, because they use sports in that way, which in sports is such unifying. It's the most unifying thing. It's the most colorblind industry there is. Am I right?
Without a doubt. I mean, you don't, because it's all about, because when you're in sports, you can go. Just take recruiting, for instance. You can go to a home where a kid has nothing, and you got to be able to sit down and talk and speak the language and convince that parent that you want their child.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go to a home where there's everything. You pull in there and you look at the house, you be like, "Wow." And
I might stay a while.
Yeah, I might stay a while. Now you got to go in there and convince that parent.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's one of the most colorblind professions at all. And sports, it happens, and it is an avenue for success for so many kids.
Yeah, and
So
it's
many
based on a
kids.
meritocracy. It doesn't matter what your color is. It's if you can play.
If you can play.
Coaches get paid to win.
Yes.
You know, and if you got a white kid or a black, it doesn't matter, and he can do the job, he's going to win the job.
You don't care because you're not looking at color. You're like, hey, that's my best football player. And you can't, because you look at it. It's more about the person and who the young man is and the way he's been raised and what he wants out of life. And you want him to reach his goals. So as a coach, that's what you want to make happen. You want to make sure that young man is able to reach his goals, and you're sitting there and trying to make that happen for him. So you don't see what color he is. You're just like, hey, I'm going to help you. Just tell me whatever you want me to do. I'll do it. If you whatever phone call you need me to make, I'll make it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It gets kind of silly at times. But so when you prepared, would you prepare for media days? Would you sit down with the PR guys, your media SID or whatever, and would they prep you like, hey, you might get asked this question, you might get asked this question? And does the athletic director get involved? Does the, if you have a disciplinary issue, does the AD say this is how we're going to handle it? I'm interested to see it. How's that work behind the scenes?
Well, I had everywhere I've been, I've really had really good sports information guys. And at Texas, I had John Bianco, and John, he's been in the business for a long time.
Yeah, well known. Yeah.
So we would go in there, and so just with media day coming up, we would meet the night before, and he would be like, "Okay, this is probably the way some of these guys are leaning. These are some of the questions you may get." Asked
From the particular reporters.
From the
he would prep you on.
He'll prep
interesting.
He would be like, "Hey, Dallas, Dallas is, the guys there are going to give you this.
This schmuck columnist is going to say this.
You got Houston is going to say to you this, but you just
that's interesting.
And in the preparation, you just got to be prepared because you may get a question just right out of left field that you're sitting there like, wow. And you just got to, always try to find a way to dance around it if I didn't have an answer for it.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to just come right out and say, boom, this. And then, a lot of times if you have a discipline issue where in the summer you've had guys that have been arrested, something has happened, now you have to address that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to get those type of questions. And they really – those are the type there they really try to get you on because one reporter asks you something and then the other guy will follow up, even in the same tone, but he want to see if you're going to give him a different answer than you just gave. They ask us.
That's one of my pet peeves is, guys come to this thing and ladies come to this thing and a question gets asked.
Yes.
And that was their question. And instead of moving on and thinking of something else, they're just going to ask the same question, try to reword it a little bit.
That's exactly.
But it's
right.
like that's the same.
Yes.
That's the same question. You just freaking answered.
Yes.
And I'm, I see some people will say, "I just answered that."
Right.
Which I think you should say. You're too nice. You'll just answer it again in a different way.
Right.
I would just say, "Yeah, I just answered that." Next question.
And then when you say something like that, he's
been a jerk.
He's been a jerk.
No, it was the same question. He's right. He's right.
Why are you even saying it?
Yeah.
He's been a jerk.
That happens all the time. And it's one of my biggest frustrations. You know what you should do, reporters? If your question gets asked and you don't have another one, just sit there and listen.
Just sit and listen.
Just sit and listen.
But, it's just like an ego thing for them. They all want a question.
Exactly.
They want to ask.
And now that all these press conferences are televised, even more so now. Everybody's got to get their question. And and I'm like, dude, they just answered that question. Like it happens after Bucks games all the time.
Yes.
Oh, it's like Post just answered that question. Baker just answered that question. It's like it's the same question.
But
think of something different. It was a lot of game there, a lot of different questions. We only have like 5 minutes. So if you're asking the same question, it takes away from people that have actually original questions that need to get things done.
I remember Coach Schultz used to say to me, he's like, listen, just give them a long, drawn-out answer, and they can't get many questions to you.
That's a good strategy. That's a good strategy.
Just give them a long and just keep talking, and then they can't answer.
You know who's good at that?
Brady.
Brady was really good at that because he knew he was only going to be there 5 minutes, and he would just, he would just keep and he would go off topic just to get out whatever he wanted to get out there.
Yes.
He would just move on from what you asked, and then he'd do what he wanted to talk about, and then it's over, and we're all like, "Damn, no more questions."
And that's the best thing.
Yeah, smart.
Like you said, you start off with the answer, then you just kind of go a different, get on a different track, and then you come back.
Yeah.
And then by then it's like, hey, we got time for one more question. You're like, yes.
So when I first started in the business in Tallahassee, Coach Bowden, the salad years for FSU, and you're sitting there interviewing Charlie Ward and Derek Brooks and Warwick Dunn and all these great players would come through. And Coach always had the feeling like, we're not going to stand over these kids and listen to everything they say. And, they're going to make mistakes, but we're going to try to, prep them in our culture to be humble, give credit to your teammates, all those things. But he wasn't going to micromanage them. And that was a different time, though, to be honest. But I thought that was a great way of handling it. He always thought that was a huge part of these guys learning and making mistakes and learning from them. And I thought that was a great way to go about it. But these days with cell phones and everything out there and how everything catches fire so quickly, maybe that's not the best way to do it. How did you handle it as a head coach with your players?
Well, you know what, and it was a really, really good point there, because they're going to make mistakes, and sometimes they're going to say something they shouldn't say. But if you remember back then, you protected the student athlete, because if he said something, you would kind of tone it down, like, okay, like he really didn't mean that.
Yeah.
So now let me kind of ask him that question again and ask it in a different way, or just say it to him so he can speak in a different way.
Yeah.
But now they're waiting. As soon as that young man answers that question, it takes off.
Yeah. It's already on Twitter.
It's already on Twitter. Hey, so-and-so just said this. It's already on Twitter. So they really didn't give him a chance to now it's just out there so quickly. But back during the day, you knew that the mistakes were going to be made.
Yeah.
And you felt bad for him if he said something that he shouldn't say. You're like, oh God, he shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I did an interview, and I forget who it was. It was the FSU Miami week. And this was probably early 90s. And somebody said something. It may have been Marvin Jones, who was such a character. You remember Marvin.
Right.
He was so glib and just, he would say, and he was always trying to be funny. And he's just and that was his demeanor. And he said something that could have been taken out of context. And I think Wayne Hogan was the SID at the time. And I told Wayne, I said, hey, Marvin said this in our interview. I'm not going to use it, but just, FYI, you might want to just be aware of that. Because I know the kid, and I knew that I didn't want to take it out of context, and I didn't want to run with it and go, just because I knew the kid made a mistake. And I don't think and I'm not patting myself on the back, but I just think that's the way you should handle things because they're still kids, and they're learning. But I don't think that would ever happen today.
And you think about, for a lot of kids, they have never had that mic in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they go out and have a good game, and then everybody wants to talk to them after the game. And they're so nervous just standing up there, and they're trying to figure out, I want to say the right thing, and I just want to make sure this come out the right way. And they just but like you said, as a reporter, you should protect him. Like, hey, I think this is what he was trying to say. But that's, like you said, you don't find many guys who does that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so SEC Media Days coming to Tampa next week. The Lane Kiffin thing is going to be a big deal, obviously. I mean, leaving Ole Miss, going to LSU. I don't know how many major media things he's done since then. I think this might be the first one. How do you handle that situation? Like, what? Now, Lane's a pretty smart guy. He'll handle it well. I know he's just going to probably try to joke around it, but it is what it is.
Well, I think now that it's been it was so talked about back during December and January during Ole Miss run. It's probably done lost some of the glamour. Somebody may ask him about, because they're going to
ask him about it.
Because I think they play like the 5th or 6th game during the season. So, and I think they have to go back to Oxford. So how's it, what do you think about your team going back there? But it'll be brought up. But I think that now it's just going to be turned and flipped in a different way where, hey, I'm at LSU now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about LSU. That's all my biggest concern is right now.
We've moved on from that.
Yeah, we've moved on from that.
The media's like, we have it.
Yes, the media's going to say they haven't moved on. But now you see, with the NCAA coming down with the rule of the Lane Kiffin rule, where you got you got to stay with your team all the way through the whole process. Yeah. But I just think now.
Has that been adopted? Is that in stone?
I don't know if
Or
it's
is
in
that?
stone
I
yet.
think that's part of the bill.
Yeah,
that's
they're
before
trying to
Congress.
put it out there right now, but
which is a great part of it.
Which is a great part of it. But it's just that it carried. So back then it was so big because even Lane was still a part of it, because each week he was answering questions about Ole Miss and LSU.
Mm-hmm.
So
now
that it's done moved on. And then that's something the media day, the SEC media days in Tampa, who would ever would have thought of that?
How about that?
In Tampa.
Yeah.
It's been Birmingham for so many years. Now
and then they had him at the beach in Panama City.
Panama City, but you think about now Tampa.
What was your favorite kickoff that you did? I remember the first one I went to was an ACC kickoff, and it was at Key Island. And we got to play the ocean course. That place was beautiful. Amelia Island we went to, some of the greatest resorts. I mean, it was a must do back in the day. What's it like for coaches?
Well, and there's a lot of times coaches, they want to go to it, but you see a lot of them just go in and come back out.
Just get in, get out.
Get out because they don't.
You don't want to hang out with us great media guys,
man?
They
don't want to hang out with the media
really?
guys. Because
I'm hurt by that.
They may say something. They may be having a conversation with someone and it's taken out of context.
Back in the day, we could do that, man. I don't know. It's if they trusted us more, or maybe it was lack of cell phones. But yeah, the coaches would, we'd sit in the bar or out. They would have a meal. Maybe a barbecue out on the the deck or whatever. The beautiful venue.
And you could walk out there,
and the coaches would all be there. The players, the media, we'd all mingle, and it was fun. Now it's like that's not happening, huh?
That's not happening now. No, because I think they look at the media as their enemy. So
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
I'm not going to hang out with that guy because if I say something to him, then he's going to take it and run with it.
Yeah. It was a different time, man, and we got to know. But I think it was a better time because, and Coach Bowden taught me this. He was the absolute master at. I don't know if manipulating the media is the right word because it has such a negative connotation. But he once said to me, he said, "John, you understand that who votes for the national championship?
Yeah,
it's the media. Why would I be mean to the media? I love you guys." It's like, he's got a point.
He's got a point.
He's got a point.
Well, but like back then, Jay, you just felt like that you had a better relationship with the media.
Yeah.
Like those guys, and you felt like you trusted them because they weren't at that time. They just weren't running with a story, just trying to make a name for themselves.
Right.
They were sitting there, watch, and they supported their university. Like they didn't want nothing bad to come out about Florida State. They didn't want nothing bad to come out about Florida, and they didn't want to be the guy who wrote that
article, right?
Because they knew that the fans saw that, but you just don't see that now.
No,
it's
but
like,
I think also in building a relationship with the media, and coach was great about this, is that he knew that if something did come up, that he would get favorable treatment because he knew that he would make a point to get to know us on a personal level. So if something did come up, and I don't think it was to get an easier ride on the story, it was get the truth.
Yes.
And so there's communication back and forth. Like, this is what happened now, because that's where things go wrong in the media. Is there when there's no communication, there's speculation, and there's bad reporting. Whereas Bobby would he'll pick up the phone and call you.
And it was nothing to hide. Like you just say, hey, this is really what's going on. If you want to write the story, this is what's really going on, and here it is. And it wasn't like if you think about it now, it's like guys feel like this guy here is getting all the information.
Right.
Like one guy's getting it all, and the rest of us aren't getting anything. So that's why they push so hard now to try to get a story, because they feel like one guy's getting all the information. I'm not getting anything. So the moment I hear something, I'm going with it.
Yeah. And not checking their sources. Were there any players that you had that you knew were notoriously like, oh God, he's talking to the media? Oh no, this is not going to go well.
I knew when I had my man Spikes. I just didn't know what he was. I didn't know what Brandon Spikes was going to say it. Because he was really good with the media, but you just didn't know.
You didn't know what was going to go.
Because you're like, oh God, please don't say the wrong thing.
So you wouldn't bring him to to the SEC kickoff.
Oh, he would speak. He would because I want to say like he would go. Tebow Tees would go, and one other one would take like 3, and you'd be like, okay, Spikes.
We know Tebow's gonna be fine.
Spikes,
but Spikes is the wild card.
Let's not put nothing out there now. We have. He may say something like, "Oh, we have a really good team, and we're going to really show these people what we're going to do this year." You're like, "Hey, Spike, just tone it down now. We don't need to say anything."
Yeah, these media opportunities now. That the one that's going to happen next week. It's like it's kind of the kickoff to the season.
Yes.
Did you ever have a message that you wanted to get out? Like it was whatever the year was, whether you're going to have a good year or you were stacked and you were highly rated. Was there a theme that you wanted to, and you would get together with your players and say, this is what we want out there?
Yeah, because you talked about that theme when you came into spring practice. You're like, hey guys, just in order for us to get to where we need to get to next year, this was our
theme. You'd have it. Okay, that's
we
cool.
just take a next step or whatever it may be. We were so close in so many games. Now what do we have to do?
Finish.
Yeah,
right. Right. Yeah.
That'd be good. Like finish. So you use a word like finish. So you would go to the media day, and that's all the guys. That's the language they talk. Like, hey guys, when they ask, hey, let's talk about. Hey, we didn't finish last season. We were close in 3 games. We lost in 2 games in overtime. This is what we have to do to go finish. These are the things we have to do.
Is there the worst thing a guy has ever said at a media days, or do you have any of those stories where it's just
no, because
or during a season?
Because like I said, the guys when you went to media day, you got to pick the guys you took.
Right, exactly.
So you was kind of comfortable with those guys going, and it was more of them, saying what they need to say during media day. But during the season, you kind of got nervous because you didn't know after a game, if the reporter come in the locker room, if he went to a certain locker, what this guy was going to say.
Yeah.
You sit there like, oh God, what's he doing? And, hey, keep him away from him. Don't let him talk. Don't let him talk. No, hey, tell the reporters they cannot talk to him.
Did you ever have a situation where there was one reporter or maybe 2 or 3 that you were like, let's keep the guys away from him, or you'd always have a PR person, around that guy because he was a troublemaker?
Well, what I try to do, when I found a guy like that, I would have a conversation with him, and I would say to him, I say, hey, what is your issue with us? Every article that you write, it's like you're looking for something. And so if you have an issue, just ask me and I give you the answer, or we can sit here and talk about it. But you try, you may find a guy like that. And plus, once you had that conversation with him, it kind of toned down. But still, though, you didn't feel like you really trusted him.
All right, last question for you. This SEC meeting, there's, I'm going to ask this question for sure. The SEC is not the big dog anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at who's winning championships now and playing in the championship game. I know it means more in the SEC, but is there a feeling in the SEC that they're not the big dog anymore? If you were a coach and I asked you that question, well, how do you think you would respond?
I would say, no, we're still the big dog, because when I would look at Jay from top to bottom, from whomever the top dog in this conference to the bottom, we're still we are a very competitive, and each week we beat ourselves up.
Yep.
Because of our competition. I said, some of these conferences, you guys, the 2 or 3 guys are head and shoulders above everybody else. That's not going to happen in the SEC.
I mean, look at Vanderbilt now.
Look at Vandy now. Look at where they're coming from.
Yeah, and even Ole Miss.
Even Ole Miss.
Those 2 are been bottom dwellers forever, but no more.
And the Big Ten going to say, well, look what Indiana has done.
That's right.
That's what they're going to say. And look at Ohio State. But then you just look at just team for team. When you match them up, you're going to still sit and say, hey, we haven't won the championship, but we are still the big dog in college football.
Do you would you like a 2014 playoff, or that too much?
I think it's too much
because
now you're using you're gonna get the argument, because when you look at number, just say you go 18, 19, 20, they may have 3 or 4 losses. So you're gonna say now with 3 or 4 losses, you still get, and the coaches like it because they can get a contract because they're gonna say, well, we made the playoffs.
Yeah.
We made the playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah. I just think it's just too many now. You'd be
getting rid of the conference championship game, which, the SEC That's $100 million deal.
I tell you right now, I love going to that game, and it was a big time atmosphere. And you just back because when we went to that game, Jay, whoever won that game went to the national championship
That's right.
game.
Yeah.
And for years it was us in Alabama battling it out. But you loved that game because you just knew, hey, your whole goal was to get to the SEC championship game. So now once we get there, now we know if we win that game, we're going to national championship.
I mean, I would rearrange things so that these conference championship games are actually first round playoff games.
Yes.
So that's, I mean, you could call them playoffs. That's a way to keep the championship games. And that means something. I think winning the SEC should mean something. The ACC, I think those are championships. I mean, that should be, kids should get rings. That's a thing.
And that's the way it's always been. So
right.
Why change it?
Yeah.
If you were a conference championship, like you said, you got a ring. Like at Florida, you get a ring for winning your conference. You got a ring for going to the game,
the bowl game.
Yes, and then you got a ring for winning it all.
Oh.
So you would collect 3 rings in 1 year, because like I said, the SEC you won it, then they get to the championship game you want, and then to win it, you get 3 rings. So that's, but I think it's like you said,
don't sell
important.
them.
No, you don't sell. I can't believe, guys, you work that hard to get that ring, and then you go sell it, Jay.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Like,
but if I, if my mama needed to get the house, the rent paid,
Yeah, but a lot of those guys, you said like, why would you ever? But like you said, who knows why?
Yeah. All right, Coach. Thanks for coming in.
Thank
you going to stop by Media Days next week?
No. I don't know.
You got a lot of friends coming to town.
I got some friends coming by.
Maybe grab lunch with a few people.
Yeah, I get a chance to see them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Jay. Thanks for having me on.
And by the way, we have our first member of the JP Peterman's VI Petermans, and it's Jimmy J. Voyager. So welcome in, my friend. You are the inaugural VI Peterman or our YouTube channel. How about that? All right. History has been made. Way to go, Jimmy J. We appreciate you, my man.
My God have mercy.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Johnny Gerber is in the house. We're going to talk some British Open. We have Christian Suber from Palmacia Country Club, who will be teeing it up at Royal Birkdale. We'll talk about that when we return. Stay with us. JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. Big thanks to Italiano Insurance, the great folks over there. They will soon be part of Gallagher Insurance. A little name change, but same great folks, same great customer service you've known for over 65 years. They do all the work. You save all the money. ItalianoInsurance.com at 813-877-7799. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler. So don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. So if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. bad idea. And with the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Thanks to Coach Charlie Strong. He's a big golf fan, too. Go ahead and stick around and ask you questions, Gerber.
Yeah.
We're brought to you by the great folks at Cafe Paradiso for the greatest Italian. Johnny Gerber can talk about this. He's had a great meal at Cafe Paradiso with our friend Paulo. So head on over there on South McDill, get the lasagna, get all the great pastas. It's great traditional Italian. Sneeze on the truth on that one. Yeah.
JP's allergic to subscribers.
Yeah. We got our first. Oh, we got a second one. We got 2 now. Alex Nunn, congratulations. Welcome in. All right. Thank you for supporting local journalism. All right. Let's talk a little British Open. Can I call it the British Open?
No, it's the Open Championship, JP.
The Open Championship. Joining us here, our professional PGA handicapper. What's up, partner? How are you?
Hey, what is up, buddy? Yes, we are calling it the British Open. I don't care what anybody says.
I told you last year why that's inappropriate, and I'm the biggest culprit.
Coming from you, I'm not listening to that. It's the British Open. I've been around golf all my life.
Smarter than you. It's better for you.
Well,
have you ever played in the British Open?
I never played it. No, I played a lot of those golf courses over there, but in terms played the Scottish Open, Irish Open, English Open. They're in those kind of areas, but certainly not the British Open. But this is going to be something, JP, that's maybe we haven't seen probably since Hoylake in when Tiger won in Hoylake in I believe when did he win it? When did he win at Hoylake? To 08?
Yeah, I was thinking 08.
Yeah. So 08. So this is going to be something like that. The only thing a little bit different here is 06. Sorry. Yeah. 06 is it's a lot more mounded than Hoylake is. Hoylake is really flat, and it's actually really close to down the road there from where they're playing Birkdale. But, you're going to see, I heard one of the best comments from guys out there this week saying, you could have a threesome that a guy hits a 7-iron off a tee and a guy hits a 3-iron off a tee and a guy hits a driver. and you never see that. And they're going to be hitting golf shots out there that they not comfortable hitting, or they haven't really hit that anticipating 100 yards roll with, a 6-iron. So it's certainly going to be different. I think there's going to be some scoring opportunities for sure. I don't think, it's going to be that brutal. Another thing, that aspect that you're not going to see like a normal British Open, I think you're going to see consistency. And that's a word that you never see or never hear when it comes to British Open, because it's 5 to 10 miles an hour wind every single day. It's 80 degrees, no rain. And those are the three variables that are very unpredictable when you have a British Open.
So this is the 154th Open Championship, Royal Birkdale. What do you know about this course? What makes it different?
Yeah, again, I think the sound, the dunes in the mounding of the golf course. I mean, you could walk probably 12 of the golf holes and not see other people, as opposed to a traditional links type golf course. So you have this mounding that makes it really cool. A little quirkiness to it. You don't get to a par 5 till 14. There's 2 par 5s on the backside, 14 and 17, that come into play. So they rerouted and changed 15, 16, 17. They made it a par 3. You remember in 14 when Jordan Spieth won, that he hit it way right and did the unplayable and hit it over the stands and had a little bit of a debacle in the hole. Said, hey, it's probably the best bogey he's ever made in his history of playing competitive golf, right? And bogey sometimes goes a long way and propels him to win. So, yeah, I think the characteristic for me, it's one of my favorite in terms of, you see the golf course. It's not definitively right in front of you because of the moundings, but it certainly gives you some character lines in terms of the mounds and the bunkers, as opposed to just a straight flat golf course that you have to pick some lines out more so in the distance and maybe in the sky, as opposed to kind of aiming at some of these mounds. So it's super. It has a lot of character. I love it. Like I said, Birkdale, if you look at the past winners with Watson and Jordan Spieth and Ian Baker Finch, right? Some of these guys that are history of the game kind of lends to these guys, but I just like it. I just think it has a ton of character, more so than any links.
And what's different is no rain. There's going to be no rain, little or no rain this week. Very, very little firm wind. Golf course. Does that? I mean, Bryson said in links golf there's no strategy, which of course Faldo had a problem with that, and I do too. But there is a. Is it more to chance when you have all these mounds and it's super firm? Is it just who gets the best bounces, the best lucky bounces? How does that figure in terms of shot making, consistency, and lucky bounce?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think strategy comes more into play, right? In links golf, it's a lot more strategy.
Well, most of the time, yes. But when you have a golf course that's this baked out, certainly luck is going to come into play. And, you have to be patient out there. Every single one of these guys are going to get a bad break and hit a golf shot. These guys hate when the ball bounces. They hate it because they want to hit it to a spot. They're so good within yards of hitting it to spots. And then when you have that unpredictability after it lands and it does whatever it does, these guys hate it. So patience is certainly going to be a virtue this week. And like I said, you're going to see more 6-7 irons, mid irons off of 440-yard par 4s than you've ever seen in any tournament of your life, just to avoid the bunkering. And that's the biggest hurdle here is the bunkering. And I'm not so sure you're going to have a player in the field that doesn't miss a bunker like Tiger did at Hoyle Lake when he won and shot 18. I think you're going to find at least one bunker every player in the field just because of the run out. And you can't gauge that. You can gauge it a little bit. Caddies are going to be extremely important. They are. Yeah. And whether you're talking through shots or, covering lines or trying to figure out how far the ball runs, caddy's going to play a big factor in here and how much the player trusts the caddy in some of these run outs and numbers. So look at that. Some maybe the experienced caddies guys have on the bag that's been here before. Maybe that will be a little bit of a difference.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Jack or some of these guys used to use the local caddies when they came over because, their caddies just did not know these courses? Would you, if you were a Scotty Scheffler, an established player, would you look to obviously they're not going to change caddies. How do you approach that? How do the caddies approach it? Do they come over early and talk to a lot of these local guys? How do they do that?
Yeah, these guys are pros, man. These guys are pros on a different aspect of golf, just like the players are the pros. These guys are the same. I mean, they're out there in the mornings. You know, they'll get the books and they'll do that. You know, here's a little bit different because most golf courses that you have sprinkler heads, and you can route the numbers through the sprinkler heads but you don't have it here. That's why it's so brown. They don't water these fairways because this place is 100 years old and they didn't have irrigation systems back in. Now there's a few to grow some up the fescue on the sides, but the fairways, no. But the work certainly is done. I covered ISCO last week down in Louisville, and the caddies are at the range and on the golf course before the players are doing their charts and doing these things. And certainly they're getting their work in. And the experienced caddies, Scotty Scheffler's probably a bad example because Teddy Scott's probably the best caddy on the PGA Tour, right? He's not going to let anything get past him. But if you look at some of the amateurs in the field and maybe some of the lower end guys that are kind of up and coming that are playing in Europe that qualified, they'll use some local caddies. Sure. I mean, why would you not? That only makes sense to me.
Yeah, I certainly would. Rom's talking about hitting 6 irons, 280 yards.
Yeah.
If you have the wind behind.
It's spooky. It really is spooky. And look at the guys that have patience, man. I'm telling you, that's going to be a big deal this week. I'm not so sure creativity is going to be it because it's kind of a spot A. You can take some lines. But the greens around the greens, look at guys who are really good chippers this week. I like too, because you're going to miss greens. It's just the way it is. You're going to miss greens out here and you're going to miss them in plenty. But I like the guys who chip, and like length is not going to be an issue. So we kind of stayed away from the guys that are the longer hitters,
the bombers,
more of the accurate hitters that we like more so than anything else.
Our boy Jackson Suber has been knocking on the door for weeks and weeks, Johnny. Hasn't been able to close, but he's getting dangerously close. He will be playing in his first British Open this week. We got some friends from Palmacia, his dad, family going over there to watch him play. It'll be his first time playing in a British Open. Does he have any shot at all to win this thing?
Well, I mean, listen, man, I hate to say it. We've had Jackson on our card a ton and he's made us some really good money. So I'm not going to dog cuss him thinking that he can't win.
No, it's just about experience. If you've never played in this, these links courses,
It's highly unlikely, but you know what, JP, this golf course and playing in the British Open, there's no substitute for coming in with some really good form. And sometimes maybe ignorance is bliss. And I certainly think that he has a great opportunity to make the cut. It'd surprise me if he didn't make the cut. I just think that how well he is playing and the confidence that he is getting is going to help him in this major championship. He's been knocking on the door. He fits that mold. We've talked about this a lot of the kind of modern day PGA Tour player. He hits it far. He chips it and puts it pretty good enough for as far as he hits it. And I just think he's getting that confidence that potentially he could just have no fear and just go out and say, hey man, what the hell? I'm going to try to play my best. And kind of go from there. Maybe he's a guy that did get a local caddy. I'm not sure. You would probably know a little bit more that I.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Be a guy that did, right, and kind of chart out these bunkers. But if there's a British Open that if there's a British Open that it's his first start, I don't like him in this spot as a first start for a British Open, just because of some of the unpredictabilities of how far the ball runs, and he's not really kind of used to that on a regular basis like some of these other guys maybe that's played in more British Opens than him.
All right, let's get to the card and see what you got, and give us some analysis on these picks.
Yeah, dual week
Rose
this week.
Is 28-1. Holy shit.
28-1. And if you believe in karma, man, this is where kind of Justin Rose broke out. And, when he was 18 years old. So I firmly believe in that, but that's not why I picked him this week. I just think that he's had some driver woes at the beginning, throughout this year, and he's not going to hit a lot of drivers here, but he's one of the best iron players on the PGA Tour. So hitting some of these irons off this tee, knowing this golf course well, and kind of feeling in a spot. I firmly believe Justin Rose is going to win another major before his career is over, and this is as good a spot as any for him. So at 28-1 with some value, I like. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I really like this guy if I have him on our card, Colin Morikawa, because we have a hate relationship with each other. Yes. So at 28-1, man, listen, he fits the mold. It's not going to be windy. So that when he won his British Open, it was very similar conditions to this. Wasn't very windy. He's one of the highest spin players on the PGA Tour. It's not going to be that this week. So, hey, listen, man, I like him 28-1 with some value. I think he's refreshed. And Ludwig Oberg at 30-1, I'm really disappointed in him. I have higher expectations, but the week that I do not
something up, man. I don't know what's going on with him.
The week, fellas, that I don't pick him in a major championship is the week that he will probably win. So
absolutely.
I'm not going to leave him off the card. He just has way too much talent. And he has that temperament. It's going to be really good in this type of situation.
You know, there are three Texas Tech golfers in this tournament this week.
Him,
one Tim Weidemeyer,
yeah,
and then one of the seniors. I can't remember his name. That's a current Texas Tech golfer is in the field as well. So there's three of them.
Oh, okay. Well, what's this? Colin Scott, maybe. I think it's
remind him no guns allowed in England. By the way, no guns up in England.
But yeah, man, I have super high expectations for Oberg, and he's disappointed. But I like him in this spot at 31. And our long shot ham sandwich, Patrick Reed. I mean, 50-1 in some of these conditions. That has how well he chips and putts. That's what you're going to need. Look how well he chipped and putted at Augusta on kind of greens that are raised and elevated like this. So his creativity around the greens, when you get that value, and you know Patrick Reed, he's going to grind out fingernails off of it no matter what. So at 50-1, I like. So Russell Henley at plus 430. I like him a lot in this spot. He's really steady. I just don't think he can make enough birdies to win this week. I think it's probably going to be about 15-14, somewhere around there that's going to win. I just think he's going to be steady enough to stay in that 9 to 10, 12 area. If the score gets to that, maybe has a better chance to win. But at plus 430, there was good value. And again, you know I really like this guy. If I put him on the card at top 10, Patrick Cantley at plus 625. He's not my favorite person in the world for a lot of reasons. We'll talk off air if you don't really know those stories. But at 625, let's see if he can get back a little bit in some good graces with me and cash a little card here. Yeah, because he's been trending well. And Patrick Cantley is a guy that you don't know if he shit himself or he just got married, because he's very stoic, right? He doesn't show a lot of emotion, and maybe that's what you need this week. But I like him in this spot. And two top 20s, Joaquin Niemann at plus 220. Got some decent value there with Joaquin Niemann. Obviously the most dominant player on LIV this year, but I'm not sure that transcends. But he plays well in major championships, and he plays well in this type of environment. That's good value with him, yeah. And Harris English, same way, plus 350. Another guy, it's very similar to Russell Henley. He's going to be very steady, not make a lot of mistakes. I'm not so sure he can get to that 14 to 15, maybe where it needs to be to win, but I certainly think that he can get in that double-digit area for top 10s. And look at this week. It's something that's very you kind of pay attention to. Look at the guys that's changing a lot of clubs this week. These guys are switching off to a lot of maybe driving irons and 2-irons, but the biggest change that they're going to need this week, and we've talked about this before, is their bounce pattern in their wedges. They're getting wedges now that they're changing up because of the hard turf that had very little bounce or no bounce on their wedges. So they're getting a little bit adjusted to the bounces with, changing up wedges. The tour trailers have been crazy busy this week out over there at the British Open. I mean, changing off clubs. These guys, they're earning their money this week. So pay attention to maybe some different club changes that you'll see that normally that you wouldn't see these guys hitting. There's going to be a lot of driving irons or, like 2-irons or something these guys are going to be putting in their bags, along with, getting 60-degree wedges with no bounce on them, and they're just straight flat, so they can kind of get ready and prepared for that firm turf that they're going to have.
Interesting stuff. All right, the Corrales and Punta Cana. We won't go through all these guys. Maybe just the winners here. You want to talk up some of these dudes?
Yeah, I actually played in this tournament when it was at the Dominican Republic in the Dominican Open, but it was still part of the DP World Tour. And it's an area that I love. Golf wasn't my biggest issue when I went to Dominican. I had some other things that I like to do. So
I can imagine
it lended for me not to play great at those places.
I like other guys.
Well, the guys weren't the problem. It was the other. But Mackenzie Hughes played solid last week at ISCO. He just had one bad round. I like him in this spot at 30-1. Steven Yeager, kind of the same way. His last round, he was one shot back. in Louisville last week at 40-1. I like him in this spot. Ben James, the new up-and-comer, probably his 5th start on the PGA Tour, a guy that's going to win pretty soon in an alternate field event, potentially at 45-1. It's good value there with Ben James and your defending champion, Garrick Higo at 6. If he can show up for his tee time at 60-1, it's pretty good. I think there's some.
You know how hard that can be, Johnny, when you're in
down there.
Down
there.
Absolutely.
It's very difficult. So yeah, we sprinkled in some top 10s. We did this last week at the alternate field event and did very well. There was no offerings for top 20s at ISCO last week, so we picked 4 top 10s and hit 2 of the 4 top 10s that got us profitable for Louisville. Unfortunately, our leaders last week didn't play well at the Scottish Open. That kind of hurt us a little bit, but I did the same this week. I jumped on the top 10s, 4 top 10s as opposed to 2 and 2. So we'll see. Look out for Blades Brown. Blades Brown maybe have an opportunity to win in a short field event. He's got all the tools, the 18-year-old phenom. So maybe sprinkle him on your card a little bit, Blades Brown, no matter where you put him.
All right, Johnny, appreciate you. Let's get you on next week. I want to do a deep dive into the new schedule for the PGA Tour and what's going on there. Obviously, major changes going on, and whether it's good for the game or bad for the game. Let's do that next week and wrap up the British Open as well. All right.
Sounds good, buddy. Hey, have a great week. Enjoy the British Open, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Enjoy the Open Championship, the
Good
British
day,
Open. Yeah. And if England gets in the final, that'll be Sunday, the final round of the British Open as well.
By the way, from the rough live 6:00 Eastern today, me and Johnny, and I will promise you a large ice cream scoop of Bryson DeChambeau fraud talk. As Johnny or as JP, I don't know if you're aware, he is going for a dubious distinction this week.
What is that?
So Nick Faldo called it the rough slam. I have heard others call it the golden sombrero, where he is on the hook to miss the cut in all 4 majors this year.
Wow, I did not realize that.
It would be only the second time in the last 30 plus years that a multiple time major winner has missed the cut in all 4 majors.
What has happened to that dude's game?
He's focused on YouTube rather than golf.
Yeah, live golf.
Nick Faldo said it really. Y'all go check out the Nick Faldo interview in Golf Week. This that just came out this week, because Nick Faldo tears into him, and he's not wrong.
All right. I definitely want to get on that. Once again, thanks to Jimmy J. Voyager and Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty is a new member as well. Thank you guys for joining up. Jimmy J with a $9.99 super chat says, just joined a VIP membership. So honored and proud to support your show and support local sports. Thank you, JP, for everything you do. Truly makes a difference, and keep up the great work. Right back at you. Alex Nunn, welcome to you, a new member as well. Thank you guys so much. Pooh Shiesty says, you got to support local journalism. Yes, we really appreciate that, guys, because we're doing things that others are not. And I think it's important, and we can't do it without you guys. I know, Pooh, we got more than 2. And now we got 4. Alejandro Noriega is a new member as well. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate your support. The Gamer says, I think for Halloween, JP should turn Kingmakers into a haunted house and bring in the naysayers on the city council. His evil laugh might change their minds. You dare vote against this at your peril.
Swear you're a pirate JP Burgundy.
That would be good. And Pooh Shiesty says, yes, and the ghost of stadiums past for the final scare. Cardboard cutouts of Stu, Wostal, and her.
We can have a Stu voodoo doll there for everybody to poke and prod.
Yes. Oh, or an effigy that we can.
Yeah, burn them in effigy. There you go.
Yeah, maybe like a pinata. Yeah. And John Hill says, thank you, JP, Miss Ash O, and the owner of Riveters, to make Kingmakers for Tuesday's All-Star event. Yeah, it was really, really fun. Everybody came together, and it's just the beginning. Another thing, Andres from Riveters said he offered up free kegs for our bar. It's going to bring us a hazy IPA, a sour, and all that, so we can plug those in at the bar. How about that? That's pretty damn cool. Yeah. Chris Cole says, hey, don't forget about the woke ESPY Awards are on tonight. When is the last time you watched the ESPYs? Like maybe the first one?
Yeah.
When it first came out, I thought it was really, really cool.
That's a good idea. I mean, it's a good idea.
And you remember how they had all the promos like in this category, blah, blah, blah. And that was cool. And then they decided to do all the woke bullshit. And then now nobody watches.
Yeah. And it's not just the ESPYs that nobody watches. Nobody watches that network.
Yeah. Astros to trade Lance McCullers Jr., Tampa's own. Colton Gordon to the Brewers. Oh, Lord. Now, listen, we know this is coming from the other contenders. And if the Rays stand pat, I will be shocked. I will be shocked and I will not be pleased. So, yeah. It went through. Pooh Shiesty says you can't trust those Dallas reporters. I thought that was a fascinating conversation with Coach Strong about the back and forth between coaches and media. Your thoughts, Timmy?
No, and he's not wrong, man. I don't understand the media members. As a media member, I don't understand the media members who try to make a name for themselves by being contentious. And that's how they try to make a name for themselves in the industry is by being argumentative and by being contentious. I've never understood that, but some guys, that's just how they choose to live out their career, and I don't get it. You don't get anywhere in that way. You turn into Skip Bayless.
Well, that's what happens when you have no talent or writing ability. I
guess so.
You have to do something else to get noticed.
And I cringe, man. When I'm at one of those things and one of those questions gets, dude, I cringe. I'm just, what are we doing here?
You hear the Yormark one last week at the Big 12 with the guy with the tortillas.
Yeah.
He asked him to repeat the question, stand up and repeat the question.
He's a Texas Tech writer. Yeah.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Oh, they've made up. They've made up. It didn't go over well at the beginning. Yormark went off on him from the platform. I mean, I was there for that. I was in the room, and it was very uncomfortable. But they've made up since then. But they shouldn't have had to.
Nathan Stout, good to see you last night. Said people don't grasp the understanding of how big a $10 billion investment is in West Tampa. Right now, $10 billion would buy every Skyline building in downtown Tampa. Picture every Skyline building in downtown relocated to the HCC lot. Yeah, it's hard to comprehend $10 billion being spent and developing one area. And how that works on an existing plot of land in the middle of a city that's basically producing zero net revenue for the county and the city. It's actually costing them money. And this is what I don't understand. I guess part of it is, not to get into a long soliloquy, but it's kind of counterintuitive. Oh, we're going to spend money, but we don't have the money. And it's like, no, you got to spend the money to make the money. To get the money you don't have. I know it's a little counterintuitive, but it really actually works. It really actually works. When you invest, more people come, they bring money, you get more money. It's really not that hard a concept, but people just don't get it. But then you have what happens, and this is, that happened in the last couple of days. Channel 28 did a story, put on Zembalist and some of these sports economists that say, and he literally said, this project will have zero economic impact. Zero. Not $1 million, not $2 million, not $75 billion. Zero. Because it'll just take money from one area and put it to another area. Like the people who would have spent money in downtown Tampa are just going to spend it over here, so it's no economic impact. And part of that is true. Obviously. But like the Battery, for instance, 75% of the people that go to the Battery are from outside Cobb County.
Yeah, it's a tourist attraction.
So how do you like, what voodoo numbers are you using? And the problem is these sports economists have been doing this for 30 years when there were a lot of bad stadium deals. Granted, the Miami deal is a horrible deal. The St. Pete deal would have been a horrible deal for the people of St. Pete. But these new deals, like the Battery, these are totally different deals. And these guys just haven't caught up. And they have to keep peddling their bullshit because that's how they make money and stay relevant. They can't suddenly switch and go, oh, well, and you think they would because it's a new deal. You could say, oh, yeah, the other ones we did, we were right about those, but this is a new deal. But then you don't, now you're going around kind of going along with the crowd. You're not standing out as, a smart sports economist. But still the mainstream media puts that out. No disrespect to Channel 28, some great people over there. But you do this stuff and you just put it out because the experts say it. Have we not learned anything from COVID? That sometimes the experts are full of shit and agenda driven? I mean, let's just be better. As I know that in local journalism, it's hard sometimes because you're trying to get a story and you don't have a lot of resources, and you just get a guy on that's going to say something crazy and it attracts clicks, especially when it involves the Rays. I get it. I get the formula, but you got to present both sides of the story, and you got to do some research and challenge people. Just because they're experts doesn't mean they're right. And then a lot of people see it, believe it, and you get misinformation.
Yeah.
Pooh Icy says Wrigley's hosting the All-Star Game next year. So yeah, they couldn't.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, that'll be fantastic. Man, that is such a great.
Have they hosted since 99? Oh, that was at Fenway. Never mind. 99 was Fenway.
It's just such a great. The problem is it's so small. It's just really small in terms of putting fans in there. It's just really small.
It's not small. It's quaint.
What else do we want to get in here? Lonnie Wilkins says, from being up at Wrigley Field over the years when A-Rod would come to town, I heard through the grapevine that he had somebody that would give him a stack of pre-written notes and everything else. That's totally what happened. Somebody threw him under the bus.
And I guarantee you it was on purpose.
Oh, 100%. 100%. That is
So
without question.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. Danny Boy says, I've been there a few times and I can vouch for this. Kingmakers is a very good place to be. Yes, you have. For baked wings, yes, Riveters is the place. Yeah, and then they have the sauce. So I'm having it for lunch today. Cannot wait. All right, on that note, let's go eat lunch. Thank you guys for joining us. Big shout out to Coach Strong for coming on today. Johnny Gerber with the picks. Go make some money for the Open Championship. I like those winners picks. I think you got a winner there. I'm going to throw a little money on Jackson just for our top 20.
By the way, Bryson DeChambeau plus 135 to miss the cut.
I'll take that bet. Lightning home opener versus Washington. Okay. Carlson against his former team. There's a little storyline for you. Thanks to all our sponsors. Thanks to Big O for jumping in. Timmy, great job. If you missed anything, you can always listen to this as a podcast. Please like and subscribe. And now please subscribe on our YouTube channel, then become a member, a VI Peterman's member or a Peterman. We appreciate all levels in supporting this show and local journalism. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you tomorrow with more fun and frivolity.